Hi, my name is Giselle Ertman and I'm excited to introduce Jéssyka Moreira and her research on vocal pedagogy. Her work focuses on the Constellatory approach to singing education, aiming to bridge the gap between talent and performance through a holistic view of voice education. Let's go ahead and dive into the interview.
Hi, my name is Jéssyka Moreira Martins. I am 24 years old and I am a soprano from Brazil. I did my undergrad in my state that we call Goiás, in my city that we call Goiânia, and it was in this university called Universidade Federal de Goiás, which is the Federal University of Goiás. And I did my bachelor's with this voice education field, the singing education field. So basically, I love everything that involves education and singing education. And I was wondering if we could talk more about everything that involves vocal pedagogy, which is one of the fields that I am deeply in love. Everything that involves the voice fascinates me deeply. And during my junior/senior year in my undergrads, which was 2023-2024, I went to this professor, Dr. Thais Loboski, in my country, and she was talking about, she's a teacher that teaches how teachers should portray themselves in during the dynamic of classroom, like the relationship between teacher and students. And I loved the way that she taught her classes, and I was like, could we find a way to write my undergraduate thesis related to vocal pedagogy? And she was like, yeah, of course, let's do something. Let's research about your field and see if we can find something that could please you. So we started to researching about it. She wrote about this specific kind of knowledge, which is called sensitive musical knowledge. And this is more related to music education, but it's not specifically to vocal pedagogy. So I was reading about her research, her doctorate research, and was bringing her ideas to what should be taught while we are talking about the voice, how we should talk about the voice with the research that she did in her doctorate. So we started to exchanging some ideas, and we came to this common ground of talking about sensitive musical knowledge in singing, with a term that we call the Constellatory approach to singing education. And basically, this idea of the Constellatory approach is related to the idea that everything that involves singing, that involves your voice, it looks like an infinity way, like this eternal way of understanding this amazing instrument that you have inside yourself. And it's honestly something that you cannot measure. So it reminds me the sky during the evening, during the night. You can look at the sky and you see like many stars and many constellations, and you cannot see where is the beginning and where is ending, but you can see this beautiful picture. So that's how I see everything that it's involving the voice. It's infinity. So we are constantly learning about the many ways that we could use our voices during performance, during the portrays some characters or some roles during operas. So basically, I am in love with this field, how the voice is this amazing universe in this field that deserves to be researched, and I really love everything about it. So we start to writing about the Constellatory approach to singing education. So basically, that's it. I took some ideas from a field of music education, and I started to apply in voice education and singing education, and it was born my undergraduate thesis. Basically, when we're talking about the constellatory approach, we're talking about a bridge between dreams of artistic performance, and we're also talking about the myth of innate talent with a comprehensive understanding of vocal education. So we have these two main ideas of how people want to be a singer, or how people can be related to the artistic world, and how you can actually get over this idea that most people has, that to be a musician or to be a singer you have to be born with some kind of talent. I don't believe that. I believe that some people are born with some kind of, they have a easier path to understand music, but it's not something reserved exclusively to them. So I believe that you're not born with a perfect voice, and as a teacher you can work with the voice that you have, and you can work with the voice that the student is bringing to you. So basically, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you can be a good artist with the voice and the vocal material that you have inside yourself. I believe that when we are talking about sensitive musical knowledge inside the constellatory approach, we're talking about many fields that they are interconnected, and they are always facing the main field, which is the voice. So basically, when we were talking about sensitive musical knowledge, we were talking about the realms of cognitive, somatic, emotional, and ethical dimensions in music education. So basically, we're talking about huge fields that they are facing a wide range of. I'm sorry, I'm going to rephrase this. When we're talking about sensitive musical knowledge, we're talking about the interconnected realms of cognitive, somatic, emotional, and ethical dimensions in music education. So we are talking about these huge fields that they are facing the voice, which is the main field, the center of all these fields. So we're talking about the integration of many fields that we are constantly seeing and studying in our lives, but we are not thinking about while we are singing. So basically, I defend that in my research, we should understand the voice through the rational process, the biological process, the emotional process, and also the philosophical process. So we're talking about like these 4 columns, and they are sustaining everything that I believe that it's important to be a good singer and also to be a good voice teacher. So that's basically the biggest challenge of my research, is understanding how your brain works while you're singing, how your heart works while you're singing, how your soul, your beliefs, everything that exists inside of you, the whole configuration of everything that exists inside of you is actually projecting your voice, building your voice. So researching about this is pretty complex, because as human beings we are complex in everything that we are trying to do and try to develop in our lives. So basically it's something that it doesn't end, but I felt the urge to at least research about the start. I believe that when we're talking about this research, we're talking about some goals that we have, which are redefining vocal pedagogy, showing in this interdisciplinary integration, expanding beyond technical mastery, and also making vocal music education accessible to all. So I'm always coming back to the same phrase: everyone can sing, everyone can use your own voice to show to the world who you are. So I believe that if you have a voice and if you have the courage and the dedication to try new things and open-minded to be able to understand how your voice works, you can be a singer and you can show your voice to the world, because your voice deserves to be heard.